come on, those toys of yours aren't that dangerous.
Then why hasn't she woken up yet?
Because she's sound asleep. Didn't you hear her sleep talking? Ah, poor child. Sounded like a bad nightmare. Tell me the truth, Sample. What are you gonna do about the overworld girl?
What am I gonna do about her? Why, wait for the opportunity and send her back, together with the rest of them, of course. Hey, come on, what's with the...
You're a bad liar, Sampo Koski.
What? I didn't mean to bring her along. The smoke was too dense. I was in a daze. Before I knew it, I'd somehow dragged her down here, too.
What are you up to, Sampo? Why do you insist on getting caught up in overworld affairs that have nothing to do with you? If it's a whole lot more attention from Wildfire you want, you're going about it the right way.
Hey now, Sampo Koski's primary concern is taking care of his friends. These guys scratch my back. How could I live with myself if I didn't scratch theirs? And another thing, where does Wildfire get off assuming that these fine folks won't come in useful to them, huh? I mean, you never know.
Which is why you've set them loose in the underground?
Come on, accidents happen. I'll have them rounded up in no time.
That girl... Get her back as soon as possible, then don't let her out of your sight. The underground has been sealed off for over 10 years now. The children won't even remember what overgrounders look like. If a girl in a silver main guard uniform suddenly shows up, what would Wildfire do with her? What would they do with you?
All right, I get it. I'm setting off right now. I'll have to trouble you to look after them while I'm gone, ma'am.
Hey, sleepyhead. Looks like you're awake. How are you feeling? Any aches or pains? I bet. You were mumbling something about stellarons and wishes. I couldn't make sense of it. Well, now that you're awake, you should probably try moving your limbs. I'm Natasha, a doctor in the underground. You've already spent a day in my clinic. Nice to meet you, too. You're very polite. Sampo's gone to clear up a mess of his own making, so I'm looking after you in the meantime. Based on your current state, I don't think there's any cause for alarm. You seem perfectly healthy. So if you don't mind, I'll go and take a look at the other patients. Sampo just told me that you lost consciousness. He didn't say why. Still, I'll wager it had something to do with him. He's always tinkering with his devices. Anyway, the opinion of the clinic is that none of you have come to harm. Sampo told me. Don't worry, the Silvermane guards won't follow you below ground. We've been cut off from the surface for many years. Even when things were at their worst down here, they never showed. Of course, I don't know the whole story behind why the architects ordered the lockdown. Who knows? Thanks to you, they might finally be about to lift it. Something that Wildfire's wanted to achieve for a long time now. Oh, please, you needn't worry. You've just been asleep for a while. I barely had to lift a finger. I might have exaggerated your condition for Sampo's years, but that guy owes me. You better bring me back some medicine. They've been up for a while already. The young guy with the dark hair left first. He went with Sampo. Your rowdier friend took off soon after waking up. I imagine she's taking a stroll nearby. As for the girl in the Silvermane guard uniform, I told Sampo to watch her, but it seems that he left his post and she made a run for it. Good question. He's a man of mystery. He claims to be a simple cross-border businessman. Not that there's much to interest an overworlder down here. Either way, he's got a surprising number of connections. I've managed to secure more than a few urgent medical supplies through him, and he's been a big help to Wildfire. In any case, I don't think his intentions are sinister. It's a grassroots organization. Think of it as the Silvermane Guards of the Underground, but less stone-hearted. No need to thank me. It's a doctor's duty to heal.
What's Nat, I didn't think you'd be here. Where's Oleg?
Hey, Zila and Sampo's guests. So it looks like you've already met. I haven't seen Oleg. The miners said they saw him take a group further in. Miners and their family members. They want an explanation from the instigators. This area up ahead is a vagrant dwelling, but they've sealed off the entrance. I guess they're afraid that angry miners might try to take revenge. I heard that many were injured in the clashes, so I hurried over here to see if I could help.
How could the situation here become such a mess?
I heard that First Mining Team found a geomarrow vein with incredible deposits. The initial estimate put it at the largest discovery in the last 30 years.
Are you serious? That's big news. How come I never heard about it?
Well, they weren't in a hurry to make it known. Most of the mines have been contaminated by the fragmentum. Many people are out of work. They were afraid of being overwhelmed if they let the word out. But the vagrants here have keen eyes. They couldn't keep it hidden from them. Some local gangs wanted to profit from the situation, so they blackmailed the mining team for hush money. And that was the final straw. I can understand your thinking. It's just that the underground is in difficult straits. And that's how the clash started. Now both sides are dealing with heavy losses. So, are you guys here to help resolve the conflict?
They're here because they need a favor from Chief Oleg. I'm escorting them. And seeing as you need that helping hand, it wouldn't be too much to ask you to lend one here first, right?
Of course we want to help. We care about other people too, you know.
Oh, that's quite nice of you.
I believe we're dealing with kind-hearted people here, Zila. As you've all seen, the situation down here is, strained. If you can, we would really appreciate you helping the people.
Let's go take a look.
I know. I'll go to Rivet Town and bring them back for you.
It's too dangerous to go alone. Get Oleg to send someone with you.
The rest of Wildfire has barely gotten any sleep the last few days. They should rest. They'd only be holding their eyelids open and slowing me down. Besides, didn't you say some of the miners were gravely injured? Lives are on the line. Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? What are you doing out here? Up to no good, perhaps?
We're just having a walk. Neither of us could sleep. You can rescind your baseless accusations.
Walk somewhere else, then.
Easy, Zila. Maybe they can help. Oh, yeah? Well, look at you swaggering in like the protagonist in your own story. Here's the situation. The clinic is packed full of people injured in the mines incident. Since you helped us resolve things, Zila and I have been busy caring for them. As you know, the underground is lacking resources to begin with. Add on the sudden nature of the incident, and it's no surprise that the clinic is almost out of medical supplies. We need to acquire more, somehow.
The situation in other towns is even worse than ours. As the fragmentum spreads underground, more monsters go roaming around, causing trouble for all the towns. That means more vagrants in the mines. The town's resources have been swallowed up by the fragmentum. To get anything now, people have to risk their lives.
Easy now, Zila. Anger isn't good for one's health. Zila and I actually aren't from here. We both come from an industrial town to the north. A few years ago, the fragmentum began to seep into the town center. I used to manage an orphanage and clinic there. But after the fragmentum corroded the area, I had no choice but to move here to Boulder Town. After all, I have to survive myself if I want to save more people.
Go to a corroded town to collect some useful resources? I'm in. You want to come as well? But you look quite tired.
Hold up. I never said you could join us.
People's lives are at stake. Why wouldn't you want another person to help? Besides, I have some experience with the fragmentums. I'm sure I will be of use.
Well, just don't slow me down.
Zila's lack of outright rejection means she approves of you. With you all accompanying her, my mind will be more at ease. Come, let me give you a list of materials we need. The place you're going to is called Rivet Town. Follow the path through the mountains to the north for a bit, and you'll arrive there. Let me think. I'm almost out of metal plates and bandages used for immobilizing broken bones. There's a market in the center of Rivet Town. Residents left behind piles of materials there when they evacuated. Please look for some there. Oh, also rubbing alcohol. I kept a bunch at the orphanage, since the kids often got into tussles. I didn't bring it with me when I left. Oh, I hope it's still intact. Lastly, painkillers. There should be a bunch stored in the old lab. Hopefully they haven't been destroyed by monsters. These should be enough to get by for a bit longer. Be careful, don't push yourselves too hard.
Metal plates and bandages, rubbing alcohol, and painkillers.
Where to now?
Nat, we're back.
That's our Zila. Nothing if not punctual. So, did you find any usable supplies? Oh, let me see. Metal plates, gauze bandages, painkillers, rubbing alcohol. Perfect. That's everything I needed. It's just, there are less painkillers than I'd expected. Did someone break into the storage room? Clara? If she was there too, then I understand. She wants to look after the injured vagrants, right? Clara's always been a kind-hearted girl. I think you made the right decision. Still, it means I'm going to have to draw up a detailed dosage plan.
Hey, don't worry. I'll help you.
No need. I'll handle the clinic. I assume you three have more important things to be getting on with, right? Oleg will be waiting, not to mention your two companions. I'm sure they won't mind. They seemed in good spirits.
I bet old Oleg wants to talk about Svarog. We should get going. Sorry, Nat. We'll have to leave the wounded to you.
Oh, no worries. I hope things go smoothly. How can you put up your best fight without a doctor on the battlefield? All of you, stay focused. I'm right behind you.
Please don't hurt Mr. Svarog!
Clara... You...
Mr. Svarog can't fight anymore. Please. Please don't hurt him.
Clara.
Mr. Svarog, don't push yourself any further. Can you tell them what you know? Mr. Svarog, you said you were willing to make all my wishes come true, right? My biggest wish right now is for everyone to work together. Like family. Recently, I learned something new. Calculation results can't always bring people happiness. Even if the world outside the cage isn't beautiful, people still want to know what it's like.
Assessment system reset. Successful. Processing variables. Variable 1. Clara's request. Variable 2. Outsider's intentions. Updated assessment result. Transference of decision-making authority to outsiders. Outsiders are granted access to Stellaron intelligence.
So we did it? Yeah, without her, even if we defeated Svarog, there's no way he'd have given us access to the intel, right?
I hope his memory bank really does contain data on the Stellaron.
Is this it, Nat? Us? Wildfire? The underworld? Did we win?
No, Zila. Our battle, their battle, it's just beginning. Hey, can I have a word with you? I know that we'll need time to process this new information, but we have to decide on our next plan as soon as possible. The furnace core. The path to the surface is close at hand now. Thank you. What you've done has brought new hope to the underworld. Now, we have to wait and see. But maybe this will lead to a new lease on life. Well, you should really be thanking Sampo. If it weren't for his intel, we wouldn't have made it in time. As Wildfire's leader, I couldn't simply look on while you fought on our behalf. We had to come help.
Huh? Huh? So you're the real chief? What about Oleg?
Oleg has always acted on my behalf. He helps me deal with all manner of problems in the underworld. Thanks to him, I'm able to make time for the people. I do my best to make sure that they have everything they need. At the same time, I was formulating a plan to deal with Svarog. Your arrival unraveled that carefully crafted yet rudimentary plan. And for that, you have my utmost thanks. When the underworld recovers its freedom, the people will indeed extol you as heroes. However, even though Svarog is no longer sealing off the furnace core, there's no way that we undergrounders could go pouring onto the surface. That cold-blooded Supreme Guardian has used lies and tricks to keep the surface separated from the underground. If she detects any change in the underworld, I don't know what she might resort to. As for Wildfire, we need more time to build up our strength. Of course, there's no doubt about that. So I'll be sending someone I trust to go with you.
Zila.
Didn't she tell you? In private, she insisted on accompanying you. Don't let her carefree nature fool you. She's actually very discerning and can read a situation like no one else. Zila is a talented scout and a quick thinker. She takes decisive action. She'll definitely be able to help you. Not to mention, you also have Bronya now. You're right. But with Zila by her side, I know she'll recover. Hey, when's the last time you got some rest? I heard that you've been on your feet looking for Svarog since Rivet Town. Health is everything. You won't be much use if you neglect yours. Let Wildfire take care of the furnace core for now. You head back and recuperate. If you're lucky, perhaps tomorrow you can return to the overworld.
Too long?
Oh, it's them!
You kids move fast. By the look on your faces, I assume you come bearing good news?
You bet! You might not believe this, but we summoned up all our strength and then... maybe she should do the talking. I'm no good at serious stuff. I'll probably say something I'll regret.
We were there at the fight. We witnessed everything.
Sacrificed herself, huh? Sure, yeah, that's the whole story.
Cocolia, in order to save Belebog, she... I see.
So the massive tremors we felt earlier were a result of the battle, right?
Thank you. I can't even imagine what you've been through up there. I'm just glad everything turned out all right. Oh, what about Zila?
Don't worry, she's all right. It took a big toll on Bronya, so Zila took her over to the guards.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're all okay.
Now that Cocolia's no more, I guess our Silvermane girl is about to become the next Supreme Guardian? She sees things through and doesn't go back on her word. The underworld will thrive again under her watch.
Oh, we brought you a message from Bronya. The blockade will soon be lifted. The people of the underworld will breathe freely.
Breathe freely. That's been our wish all along. March, Donhung, and you, can I ask for your help again? I want to get this news out to everyone. It'll lift their spirits and bring them hope. Thank you. Choose whoever you like. Wildfire will take care of the rest.
We've gotten to know a lot of underworlders. Who do you think we should start with?
Roger that. You can leave the rest to us. If everything goes smoothly, this should be Wildfire's final mission. Those kids better not have taken advantage of the chaos. Oh, is everyone all right? Thanks for your help. I'm flattered. Now we just have to wait for the official news. I hope Bronya doesn't keep us too long.
Huh. Do you think Svarog and Clara felt the effects of our battle with the Guardian?
I think they'll be fine. Plus, Svarog's devotion to Clara is even greater than his hostility to Wildfire. If you're worried, you could look for them over at the robot settlement. You made it. I thought you were about to miss out on a moment of history.
No way! After all our hard work, how could we miss out on the final celebration, right?
I smell it too. For Oleg and I, not to mention the other adults, reopening the passageway means rediscovering old ways of living. Return to normality. Survival is no longer the top of the agenda. But for the children who were born into this era, who grew up in this isolation, this will be a new life altogether. Once you've tasted freedom, it's difficult to accept a life of separation and isolation. Those of us whose childhoods were marred by tragedy, we must strive to do better for the next generation. I'm sorry. Here I am talking your ear off again. This is a day to remember. We should welcome it with smiles. If you have time, talk to the folks here. Every one of them will tell you about their excitement. And when you're ready, let's go home.
Whoa! Look at the big blue ceiling!
That's not a ceiling, Hook. That's the sky.
So this is the overworld? The air here smells different.
Less rust and geomarrow particles floating around. Take a deep breath, children. This is what freedom tastes like. I never thought I'd live to see the administrative district again. All those years. We've been through a lot, Natasha.
You're right, Oleg. It's funny. The moment I boarded the cable car, my mind was filled with everything I wanted to do on the surface. But now, I just want to sit down, zone out, and watch the people coming and going. And let the day just pass me by.
Enjoy the peace and quiet, Natasha. We earned it.
I don't know if you've ever had that feeling. When you stop and look back on the things you've done, and wonder at all the obstacles you've overcome, the strength you've displayed. And then you start to doubt yourself, and wonder if you've lost that drive. If everything were to happen again, would you still stand strong? You do? Oh, good. Well, I mean, it's good to know someone in this world feels the same way as me. I haven't been able to sit back once over the past 10 years. A moment's negligence could have brought wildfire crashing down, and the underworld would have been beyond saving. Staying vigilant wasn't the issue. It was the not knowing whether I'd ever be able to let my guard down again. No matter what anyone says, I believe your arrival was the reward for my long vigil. Thank you, Trailblazer. To go on an expedition. You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with. According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. I'm a bit concerned. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society? Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. It certainly makes you wonder. And the most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help. It sounds dangerous, but what I want you to do is actually very simple. Investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out what exactly they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just sit on the sidelines. Can I entrust you with this task? This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care. Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly when you're back. So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results, and now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients? Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual aid. I'm not surprised. They'll know that I'm completely against them using this wonder medicine. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. Thank you. Those patients weren't exactly singing my praises. Thank you for having faith in me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effects. I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. What do you make of him? I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again. Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the wonder medicine all too well. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves to such experiments. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort below ground. Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the standard she'd strive to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next. Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments on his test subjects. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while and neglect their regular treatment plans. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor would accept that. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. Are you willing to take on this assignment? Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine, but it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequences. Don't worry about that. Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to save lives, you're in it to get rich.
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have expected trouble to find you sooner or later. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck. Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation.
It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she?
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface? I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing. I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to ask. No, but I used to think we were so close that we may as well have been. I, actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't until I was adopted by an overworld family that life changed for me. My adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood. And Vash loved me like a sister. That is, while we were still young. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older, both of us got straight into Belebog's medical school. We were on a path into the medical profession. He was gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could be absurdly obsessive, like a completely different person. Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize and comfort me. He was conflicted in that way. I didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked when you told me. If you fail to make a clean break with the past creeps up on you. That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belebog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains. To be honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. But I do admire that vision and perseverance. I always chose to believe him, ever since I was a kid. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research. But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed him in a terrible way. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, their bodies reacted differently to hot and cold. And that fascinated Vash. He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard immunity. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. A convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into into a madman. Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. My judgment was clouded by trust in a loved one. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent ages trying to find a way to handle Vash. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment. Looking back, it wasn't. He deserved much worse. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble. Can I talk to you for a moment? I have a favor to ask. Something rather personal. I want to thank you again for recovering the Wonder Medicine. It meant a lot to me. But disposing of Vash's reagents isn't enough to solve the medical supply shortage. Many of my patients can't be seen promptly, and my stock of medicine is running low. Thanks to you, the route to the overworld through the furnace core has reopened. I'd like to use it to return to the surface and see if I can get some help. I knew you'd be interested. Remember my adoptive parents I mentioned to you a while ago? After the reopening of the furnace core passage, I had an idea. I wrote a letter and asked Sampo to deliver it to my parents' old address. I didn't have high hopes, but amazingly, Sampo brought me my mother's reply. That's exactly what I thought when I got her letter. Mom said they still live at the old house, but they're not working on the front lines anymore. They should still have some connections in the medical school and the hospital, though. If I'm lucky, maybe I can convince them to send extra medical supplies to the underworld. Of course, that's not the only reason for me to go back to the surface. I can't wait to visit my parents again, and I can tell from my mom's letter that they feel the same. If possible, I would like you to go with me. Wonderful. That's such a relief. I've sent another letter to my mom telling her to find us near Fountain Plaza. Don't worry, I know my way around the administrative district. This place doesn't seem to have changed much from what I remember. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I got distracted watching the crowds. Look at the busy flow of people. Life in the overworld carries on as usual, as if nothing has happened. We're a little early. I've got an idea. I want to buy my mom a gift. You're more of an overworld local than I am now. Any suggestions? Flowers, huh? That's a great idea. I've been underground for so long, I almost forgot what flowers smell like. Flowers it is, then. Can you lead the way? Eversummer? Was that always the name? Seems I was too young to get the irony back then. Sorry. I don't mean to sound cynical. Maybe it simply represents the people's hopes up here. Now that I think about it, sending flowers is quite the tradition in my family. Mom, Dad, Vash, and I, whenever something good happened, we sent each other flowers to celebrate. Do you want to hear a flower story? Each year for their anniversary, my dad would send my mom a bouquet of ball peonies wrapped in red paper. I heard that ball peonies represent love that knows no end. It does fit their marriage. My father is a famous surgeon in Belebog. Because of his fame, people in medical circles paid great attention to his surgeries. He always had a lot of stress to deal with. And each time he finished a tricky operation, my mom and I would buy a single stem of sunshine and then pin it on the chest pocket of his apron. Sunshines represent warmth and love of light. For patients on the verge of death, my dad might have been the only light to penetrate the darkness around them. Vash. Out of everyone in my family, I think he probably appreciated flowers the least. Still, I remember the day he received his offer from the medical academy. My parents took me to the florist, and we bought him the most expensive marquee stem in the shop. When we gave him the flower, he failed to hide his smile. You can't imagine how hard it was to get him to smile. As an orphan, I never knew my birthday. My adoptive parents took me to the overworld and made the day I joined the family my birthday. And each year on that day, my parents would give me a bouquet of first snow. And the number of stems represented how many years had passed since I joined the family. I only found out later that first snow represents beautiful memories. My parents gave me a beautiful childhood. And I still haven't had the chance to thank them for that.
I can't decide.
Oh, ball peonies, is it? 1 second. I'll get it ready for you. There you go. Sorry for the wait. Hope to see you again soon.
All done? May I have a look? Ball peonies. Nice pick. I wonder if Dad still sends Mom flowers on their anniversary. I knew you'd pick the right flowers. Mom and Dad will be so happy. Let's go. My mom will be there soon. Best not to leave old folks waiting. Mom!
Nat? Nat, is that you? Oh, come here, my darling.
It's been too long, Mom. Too long.
Sorry. I don't usually get this emotional. How have you been, Mr. Oswell? Thank you so much for taking care of my parents these last 10 years.
I'm doing fine, Miss Natasha, just fine. Look at you. You've blossomed into a fine young woman. Such a pity that your father...
Dad, I was wondering where he is. Is he...
It was 3 years ago, Nat. No need to be sad. He passed away very peacefully.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. For 10 years, I left you both in the overworld. Mr. Oswell, I'm sorry you had to bear all this weight.
Don't be, my dear. It is my honor to look after your parents.
It's not your fault that they sealed off the passage between the surface and the underground. Don't be so harsh on yourself, daughter.
Oh, Mom. I have so much to say to you. But, there's an urgent matter that needs your help. I apologize. I wish this were a happier reunion. But there are too many suffering with sickness in the underworld. You're the only person I can go to for help.
Oh, there's no need to apologize, my child. I've heard of your deeds down there, and I know you've saved many lives. Your father? He would be proud of you. We have many connections in the medical academy. No matter what you need, be it medicine or data, I should be able to get it for you. Be the doctor you always were, Nat. We have all the time in the world to catch up later.
It's all right. I was prepared. Although it still hurts to hear it from Mom. With her help, we'll be able to ease the underworld's medical supply shortage. That's good news for patients who'd lost hope. I really wish I could spend the whole day talking to her about the old days. But sadly, now is not the time. Let's head back to the underworld. We need to spread the good news.
Miss Natasha, one moment, please.
Mr. Oswell? I thought you headed back home with Mom. How come...
I apologize, Miss Natasha. As a matter of fact, there's something I have to tell you in person.
Something that Mom isn't supposed to know?
You haven't changed a bit. Smart and sensitive. The fact of the matter is, in the first 2 years after the passage was closed off, I received many letters from Master Vash.
What? Letters from Vash? Are you certain, Mr. Oswell?
course, miss. I recognized his handwriting. You'll see what I mean when you read the letters yourself. Actually, those letters were intended for your eyes only. The delivery address was the underworld, but because of the sealing off of the passageway, the letters were sent back to your old house. To me.
I don't understand. Did you not show them to my parents?
I'm sorry, miss. I opened one of them out of curiosity. Master Vash stressed in the letter that your parents must not know what happened to him. That's why I put the letters in a secure place, waiting to hand them to you when we could meet again. I'm not sure if I did the right thing, Miss Natasha. I just didn't want your parents to feel that their son was so close and yet so far away.
Do you have the letters on you, Mr. Oswell? Let me take a look.
Of course, here. You can tell it's the young master's handwriting.
The cold has revealed to me my arrogance. How can a child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Vash didn't give up on his research into blizzard immunity, even after he left the city. I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs. I'm trembling, not because of the cold, but because I can feel I'm getting closer to the answer I seek. If what's in here is true, then Vash must have built a lab somewhere in the snow plains, and even made progress in his research. But how can that be? There'd be no point in him lying to me in the letters. Still, it's possible he may have gone completely insane before he started writing them. I need to leave the city to recover my brother's research data. Are you willing to come with me?
Leave the city? You are taking too much risk, Miss Natasha.
I know, Mr. Oswell. But I have a hero with me. She saved the underworld. I'm sure she'll protect me, right? Vash, it's been so many years. Are you still alone in the blizzard? Oh, ignore me. I'm just talking to myself. Let's go. It's time to face my past head-on. Such harsh cold. It's hard to imagine anyone surviving in these conditions. Unless blizzard immunity is real. Let's hurry up. We need to find any clues that Vash may have left behind before both of us become ice sculptures. Here, this looks like lab equipment. Maybe Vash left it behind. Still, it's all just used test tubes, beakers, and other vessels. It's no sign of any sample reagents or lab notes for that matter. Oh, I know my brother. He's meticulous when it comes to medical experiments. There's no way he wouldn't document his results. I want to go deeper into the snow plains. Can you press on any further? Gosh, the temperature keeps getting lower, but we can't give up halfway. No need. Don't you underestimate the leader of Wildfire. Oh. Let's press on then. This may not sound like me, but I hope that deity the architects worship can grant us some luck.
Citizens? Outside the walls? Hey, you two! Stop right there!
That's a Silvermane guard. Is he yelling at us? Oh, I'd almost forgotten. No one can leave Belebog without authorization. Looks like we need to talk our way out of this.
I can't say you sound suspicious, but I can't just take your word for it either.
Captain, look at her necklace. Maybe she's telling the truth.
It's the same as Dr. Vash's.
My brother does wear an identical necklace. Do you know him?
Are you really his sister? Dr. Vash saved a lot of my soldiers.
Saved your soldiers?
Yes. Take a look at the guards patrolling outside the city. All of them are risking their lives. Aside from the monster-related casualties, we lose men to frostbite every year. But thanks to the medicine the doctor leaves us, my soldiers are able to withstand the cold. They can make camps in the snow plains as footholds for our patrols. If it weren't for the doctor, we would have long since frozen to death.
Medicine. Blizzard immunity.
You don't know. Dr. Vash is elusive. My squad only met him once, and he didn't seem like the talkative type. He leaves the medicine at specific locations, and our patrols go there to collect it. The medicine is extremely potent. A small vial could keep someone warm for a week. Speaking of the doctor, it's been a long time since we last saw him. At least 2 or 3 years. I hope he's alive and well.
So he really did have a breakthrough in the snow plains. Oh, did the medicine have any side effects for you?
Side effects? Not that I know of. If there were a problem, it'd be that we couldn't go back to the city until the effect had worn off.
Because the city would be too hot for us. We'd break a sweat just sitting idle.
Thanks for the information. We're planning to head deeper into the snow plains to find my brother.
Seems like you made up your mind. I'd really like to send some of my men with you, but we can't leave our posts. Here, take this medicine. If what you two told me is true, I'm sure you're more than capable of handling yourselves out there.
Thank you, Captain. We'll take it with us. Hold on. That's a big guy over there. Did you see that? There's something on the monster's back. Oh, the blizzard immunity. Shall we drink it? It's your call. I'm ready. Doctor's got your back. It's done. That was my first time seeing you in battle. You've got some moves, don't you? No wonder you were able to save the underworld. Let's have a look over there. My gut tells me we should find something connected to Vash. These are records of his experiments. It's Vash's handwriting. This must be the location of his final lab. Come have a look. His last experiment was nearly 2 years ago? What happened after that? His notes seem to suggest he was working to improve blizzard immunity. Brother, where are you? What happened? Sorry. I needed to take a moment. After seeing the letters Mr. Oswald kept for me, I was hoping things might have ended differently. I shouldn't have asked you to come with me to such a dangerous place. I do. I can't forgive him for what he's done. Nor can I say I don't miss him. Maybe I should feel glad. The medicine might not have been what he wanted it to be, but it came to something. Maybe he found some inner peace. They'll remember him as a murderer, as someone whose evil experiments brought great harm to the innocent. Vash doesn't deserve to be remembered as a doctor. I know that very well. But maybe this blizzard immunity can now bring benefit to others, even if it was made by a monster. Human beings really are conflicted life forms. I'll take his records and data with me and continue what he started. One day the world will see a perfect blizzard immunity. Before we leave, I'd like to ask for another favor. The last one, I promise. That should do. Hope it can withstand the snow. You're right. Let me think. Here lies Vash, my brother. That'll do. Thank you for helping me. I feel like a great weight has been lifted. So long, brother. Hope you don't forget Dad's teaching. A doctor does not get to choose his or her patient, my children. Remember, never say no to those who come to you for help. Never. Hook? What are you...
Natasha? Junjun's in bad shape. Can you help me fix him?
I remember giving you Junjun. I haven't seen this fella in years. Where did you find him?
The wind brought him back to me.
Be honest with me, Hook.
Big sister helped me find him in the Rivet Town orphanage.
You had her take you to the Fragmentum just for this teddy bear? Hook, how many times have I told you?
Natasha, please. Please help me fix Junjun. I'll clean the clinic for you for a whole month.
You say that every time, and then...
Great, see you soon. Big sister, I'll leave Junjun with you.
What am I going to do with that girl? You shouldn't indulge her, outsider. I know it's difficult to tell Hook no, but sometimes it just has to be done. June. So she gave her bear a name, huh? I've lost count of all the dolls I've made. To be honest, I wasn't expecting her to like this one so much. It was an award I used to give the kids in Rivet Town for good behavior. Can you imagine what an orphanage is like with so many difficult children? I mean, I had to come up with a solution to get them to behave. Hook pretended to be well-behaved for a month in order to get June. She ate on time, slept on time, even stopped fighting with the other kids. Of course, as soon as she got her award, she went straight back to her old self. Hook has an uncanny ability to rally people to her cause, both adults and children. It's a skill, all right, and forcing her to be well-behaved puts a lid on it. Well, this teddy bear has sure been through the wars. Don't worry, I'll help Hook repair June, but I'll need to find some stuffing. Wait. Look at the eyes. They must be Erebus? Huh. Strange, I didn't notice when I sewed them on. I'm no appraiser, but these two gems look to be high quality. Well, our war-torn bear here just became a priceless doll. Not bad, June.
Stupid witchy old... Natasha! Have you finished fixing June?
Oh, your teddy bear? He's nearly done. Here, take a look at him.
Wow, he looks brand new! Natasha, you're incredible.
Glad to be of service. Now then, did you really bring her over here with you just to pick up June? Come on now, what are you guys up to this time?
We're going to the auction. No, that's not what we're going to do.
You've been spending too much time with Hook. The auction, right, Hook? The one at the Vagrant Camp? So you made me go through all this effort to repair June just so you could sell him?
Honorary member, think of something.
You two make an adorable duo. I was only joking, Hook. June is yours, and it's entirely up to you what you do with him. But you must make one promise to me.
Wait, what is it?
Don't go charging into the Fragmentum again. Mr. Fursman heard about what you did and came to me to find out what happened. Your dad worries about you. Stop giving him reasons to.
Daddy? Okay. I swear I'll never make Natasha or Daddy worry again.
I'm going to have to trouble you to keep an eye on this kid again. You seem to be doing a good job, so I'll leave it at that. Off you go then, and good luck. Huh, so she's your sister. The Landau family is full of talented young people, I see.
You're worried that Underworlders might still hold a grudge against the Silvermane guards. So you want to show your solidarity with the Trailblazers to build some trust. Seems like a sound strategy to me.
Rebuilding trust between the two worlds has always been a priority for Lady Bronya. People here must have felt abandoned by the guards after the passage was sealed off. If we were to simply take over the underworld in the name of the Supreme Guardian, I can only imagine how people would react.
Seems like you have a good handle on the situation. I see now why you made captain at such a young age.
So, you're also saying the guards want to work with Wildfire and use our reputation to win back people's support, correct?
I wouldn't use those exact words, but that is more or less what we want to achieve.
If that's the case, I've got a question for you. Since this offer comes from those who left us to our fate for more than a decade, how would you react if Wildfire refused? Would you use force?
She's not trying to be diplomatic about it, is she? Who is she, anyway?
The barrier between the surface and the underground was the product of the former Supreme Guardian's misjudgment and the policies that resulted from it. The people of Belebog should have stood together, but instead, we were made to blame and hate one another. Lady Bronya wants Belebog to heal, so the Silvermane Guards need to regain the people's trust. But we won't achieve that by kicking doors open and policing everyone around. As a grassroots organization, Wildfire did an extraordinary job maintaining order for over a decade in the absence of the guards. I can only imagine how much work you put in to protect the underworld. I can assure you that the guards are not here to seize power. If it takes time for the people to trust us, so be it. We're willing to take small measures and serve as an auxiliary force to Wildfire to help maintain peace. I hope you can see that everything we do to rebuild trust and make Belebog work for all.
I swear, he never used to be this emotionally intelligent.
That's an answer I can accept. Oleg, what do you think?
I think there's no need for the guessing game to continue. It's obvious we share the same goal. With the help of Bronya, Serval, and Chapard, we're one step closer to rebuilding a united Belebog.
I agree. Tell Bronya that Wildfire will work with the Silvermane Guards on security matters. However, things aren't simple down here. Please also tell her to draw up plans in case the situation demands...
Monsters! Monsters from the Fragmentum! They're swarming toward the town!
Not good. Stay here, Natasha. The patients need you. The soldiers and I will handle this.
Understood. We'll be counting on you.
Mr. Oleg has a pretty good handle on what's needed in the mine. He's arranging for rescue teams and supplies to be sent over. He won't be back for a while.
Looks like you guys have the situation under control. Thank you. I'd love to sit down and chat with all of you, but I still have a backlog of patients to see. Oh, there was a girl and her brother who said you saved their lives. You might want to check on them and see how they're doing. Not so long ago, I was still wondering whether I'd ever see Belebog's sky again. Now I'm on a train coasting through the universe. Sorry. It's so beautiful outside. I got a little lost in thought. I almost thought I'd slipped into a fairy tale. When I stand aboard the Express, I can feel that you and I are really the same. Manifesting our own futures in this universe to the best of our abilities. Everyone's working hard for the bigger picture. I believe I'll have lots of happy memories here. Thank you for inviting me aboard the Astral Express. So, I told him about the Express, and eventually he stopped crying and started asking so many questions. Can you see the Express in Boulder Town? Why does it fly in the sky? Who's the conductor? Actually, I didn't need any answers. He made them all up himself. The stars exploded, and the Express has to go everywhere to pick up all the pieces, and that's why it flies up in the sky. The Express has lots of Express friends, and it wants to find them and play together. Imagination is the source of all existence. Children need only their imagination to understand the Express. The next time I'm back in Belebog, I'll tell them I boarded the Express. And I'm sure they'll give me 100 different explanations of how it happened.